There's no getting away from it. Britain has become a soft touch on crime. We learnt yesterday that the Prevent programme, designed to tackle the huge threat of terrorism, has more or less overlooked the main issue, Islamic fundamentalism, which, to give you a quick elevator pitch, stands for the total obliteration of the West. Charming. Given the disproportionate threat this toxic ideology poses to all British citizens, it's shocking but not surprising that just 16% of cases referred by Prevent related to Islamism. It seems the authorities are happy to let ISIS plot more human devastation for fear of offending anyone or being accused of Islamophobia. Britain is clearly a soft touch when it comes to organised grooming gangs, which is the subject of a stunning new GBNews documentary which airs on Saturday at 8 o'clock. Its producer, Charlie Peters, joins me shortly. Essentially, vulnerable young women have been abused, raped and exploited by men. These men have evaded justice in spite of warnings from the local community and victims themselves, because the authorities don't want to be called racist, so they'd rather let young girls continue to be raped instead. Brilliant. This country is a soft touch on burglary, with just 6% of burglaries leading to an arrest last year in England and Wales. 6% for a shocking and invasive crime. Based upon that statistic, burglary has effectively been decriminalised. The same for rape, domestic abuse and sexual assault, which are shockingly underreported. 6.3 million crimes were reported last year. This is out of control. 6.3 million crimes. Just think of the number not reported. Stabbings have become the norm, with drug gangs controlling their own postcode and with residents living in terror and afraid to leave the house after dark. Let's be fair to our coppers. The force has seen unprecedented cuts dating back to 2010. Brave police officers, men and women, have had a real terms pay cut for years, and they put their lives on the line every day. And legally, they can't go on strike. Senior leadership within our police forces will rightly argue the demands on their resources are unprecedented, including cybercrime. And they're doing everything in their power and within their budget to tackle crime. They have the toughest job in the country. I get it. But right now, it's not working. And sentencing is a problem too, with the likes of evil paedophile Gary Glitter getting out of prison halfway through his 16-year sentence. How do his victims feel about that? Today we saw a lot of pearl clutching from the media and political elite about Tory MP Lee Anderson's suggestion that we bring back capital punishment for the worst crimes. Who could blame him? He wants things to change. He's not talking about a parking ticket here. This is evil mass murderers who cannot be rehabilitated. There is a strong argument to be made that they sacrifice their own life when they take someone else's. Look at this chart demonstrating how bad crime has become compared to a century ago. It shows the rates of recorded offences per 100,000 people, so it's adjusted for population size. And the rates of crime, as you can see, are through the roof. Welcome to hell. As journalist Ed West has pointed out, there averaged just 400 street robberies a year nationally during the 1930s, when absolute poverty was much higher. In the year 2000, in Lambeth, just one of London's 32 boroughs, there were 8,000 street robberies. So that's 400 nationwide in the 30s and 8,000 in one London borough in the year 2000. Brits go about their lives now expecting to be victims of crime, expecting their phone to be snatched out of their hand as they walk down the street. Brits expect their homes to be broken into. They expect their car, motorbike or bicycle to be stolen at any moment. And the expectation that the police will do anything about these crimes is close to zero. People I know, and I'm sure people that you know, have been a victim of crime and often don't even report it because it feels so hopeless. Woke policing, which would rather see a copper turn up at your house because of a supposedly offensive Facebook post, is letting real criminals off the hook, which is a crime in itself. So, we need more police officers, more prisons, tougher punishments, and a culture in which those who break the law face a genuine fear of getting caught. Being safe is a human right and should be the expectation of any civilized country. Britain should be one of the safest countries in the world, and back in the day it was, but it's turning into a lawless hellhole. It's time for the police to raise their game and start tackling real crime. And it's time for underperforming police chiefs to be taken in for questioning. They have no right to remain silent.